Look, I know how terrible it is that someone who's in the last 6 months of their life could be experiencing terrible pain and anguish. And I know people who've gone through that. I know people whose family members have gone through that. And so it hits me deeply and makes me wonder about, how we can alleviate the pain that they're going through.
Over the weekend, Illinois lawmakers passed Senate Bill 1950. That is the right to die bill for terminally ill patients. Governor Pritzker saying there that his office will examine the bill as it heads to his desk for a signature. It's not clear yet if he'll sign it or not. It's also known as Deb's Law, and its namesake, Deb Robertson, is graciously joining us tonight via Zoom. Hi, Deb Robertson. Nice to see you again.
Hi, it's great to be here. Thank you for having me.
Of course. We did a story on you. We came out to your house in Lombard and interviewed you several months ago. You told us you were suffering from neuroendocrine carcinoma, which is a terminal disease. Update us on how you're feeling right now and your prognosis.
Yeah, a lot of things have changed since we last met, Paris. My disease is advancing much more rapidly than before. I'm now experiencing tumors in my brain and having radiation on that. I'm currently on my 7th type of treatment, continuing to fight every day to live.
And we're sorry to hear that you're going through that, Deb, and you have tremendous strength, and especially we appreciate you talking to us through all this. How does it feel now that you see that this has been a years-long process to get this bill through?
Oh, yeah.
It finally passed the legislature. It's on the governor's desk. How do you feel about that?
I feel ecstatic. It's been a long road, but we've made progress, and I'm hopeful that Governor Pritzker will sign this bill as soon as possible, for me personally as well as other people in Illinois. There's lots of people that are in need of having this bill passed and passed quickly, as quick as possible.
And I know, a lot of viewers might be confused. Why do we want to give folks the ability to die with medical aid? And I know that you've been involved in this legislation for a while, and there are several sort of protections here to make sure this is an ethical bill. Can you just remind us of some of those?
Yeah. There's a multitude of protections throughout this bill that I think help people understand the process of the actual bill itself. Protections such as having multiple doctors examine you to assure that the diagnosis is a terminal illness and a terminal 6 months or less to live. Mental health assessments are done. There's a waiting period that takes place in regard to requesting the medication for this end-of-life option. Yeah, so there's, like I said, doctors need to be trained. There's a multitude of things that will happen when this bill gets passed. I'm going to be optimistic for my sake and others. So I believe that the protections that they do have in place are make it safe for the people that are choosing this option, as well as helping people understand that there is a lot in place to assure that there's no misuse of this option.
And explain to viewers why, in the position that you're in, why not hang on? Why not fight as long as you can until the very end, as opposed to take medication that would end your life pretty quickly?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I believe I've been fighting for over 3 years now, every single day to live, and I don't want to die. So, my fight is there, and I'm going to fight until the end. And even if I had this option today, unless I was suffering in an extreme pain, I wouldn't utilize this option, even though I would have the option. People that utilize this option, this is an additional option in addition to palliative care and hospice care. This is just another choice that we have as dying people in regard to the end of our life. I'm fighting to live, so there's no reason for me to even need this option today. But my body is declining now, so I might need it in the future. So this is for people that are suffering. This is for people that are really at the end of their life. It's an end of life option, not an early life option. Like I said, I've been fighting. This is my 7th different treatment put in my body to stay alive. So I want to live. I don't have the choice to live. My choice is to fight.
And I know you were telling me with this disease that the final weeks, months, moments of it can be extraordinarily painful and even torturous. You know, I know the Illinois State Medical Society, some of their physicians have been split on this. We did talk to a physician that said, well, you know, there's the Hippocratic Oath, first do no harm, and this could violate that. What is your message to some of those physicians?
Yeah, I don't think that doctors participating in this option, helping others, are violating the Hippocratic Oath in the sense of the fact that these people or those people who would choose this option are at the end of their life, and all the other options have been utilized, or this is for to end suffering. It's for people not to have pain and agony and be so sick that they can't communicate and so full of meds that they can't even function. I don't want to go out that way. That would never be my choice. So having this option would be such a relief for me and so many others.
And you heard, you know, Governor Pritzker wouldn't commit one way or to the other today. What would be your message to him?
Well, my message to Governor Pritzker would be to remember us and remember the voices of the people of Illinois and how many have spoken up in regard to wanting this law to be passed and this law to be signed. Even those that might choose not to do this for themselves still support this option for others. And I think through education, we've been able to help people better understand what this bill is about, and that it is a right for people who are already dying at the end of their dying days to have this option. I'm not ready yet, but if I am, when it comes to that point, and I know it's going to come, I would be so elated to have this bill pass when I'm still on this earth. I'm hopeful. I'm really hopeful that it will happen when I'm still here. If not, I will continue to talk about this and educate people until I can't.
All right, Deb Robertson, we do hope
That's
you are.
how important it is.
We do hope you're on this earth for as long as possible, and wish you comfort and the best of health to you and your family. Thank you so much for speaking with us.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a nice night.
All right, you too. And when we come back, UFOs or UAPs, what's the truth? We get more insight right after this.